Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk about something many people quietly struggle with: money. More specifically, the way we spend it. Many people work hard every day. They earn money. They plan to save. They promise themselves they will spend more carefully. But somehow, at the end of the month, the money is gone. You open your bank app. You check the balance, and you wonder where it all went. There was no big purchase, no expensive vacation, no major investment, just small things: a coffee in the morning, food delivery at night, a quick online purchase, a sale that looked too good to ignore. Each decision felt small. Each purchase felt harmless. But together they quietly added up. Many people do not lose money through one big mistake. They lose it through many small moments. Moments when spending feels easy. Moments when buying something feels comforting. Moments when the mind says, "It's not that much." Imagine a simple situation. You open a shopping app, just for a moment, just to look. You scroll through the items: shoes, clothes, gadgets. Something catches your attention. The price looks reasonable. There is a discount. The words "limited time offer" appear on the screen. Your mind begins to justify the purchase. I might need this later. This price is really good. I work hard. I deserve this. A few seconds later, the order is complete. The money leaves your account quietly. In that moment, the purchase feels satisfying. But the satisfaction rarely lasts very long. Soon, another purchase appears. Another small decision. Another quiet expense. Modern life makes spending very easy. In the past, people had to carry cash. They had to physically hand money to someone. That small action created awareness. But today, spending happens with a simple tap. One click, one swipe, money becomes numbers on a screen. And when money feels less visible, it often becomes easier to spend. This is why many people feel confused about their finances. They are not irresponsible. They are not careless. They simply live in a world designed to encourage spending. Advertisements appear everywhere. Online stores never close. Sales happen every week, and the brain naturally responds to these signals. Buying something new creates a small moment of excitement, a small reward. But that reward is temporary. After the excitement fades, the object becomes normal, and the mind begins searching for the next small reward. This cycle quietly repeats. Spend, feel good, return to normal. Spend again. Over time, this pattern becomes a habit. And habits are powerful, not because they are dramatic, but because they happen so often. Understanding this pattern is the first step, because when we understand why we spend, we can begin to change how we spend. Money itself is not the problem. The real challenge is awareness, learning to pause before spending, learning to notice the small decisions that shape our finances. And that is where the real story begins. To understand spending, it helps to look at everyday life. There was a young office worker who promised himself something at the beginning of the year. "This year I will save more money." He was serious about it. He even wrote it down in a notebook. For the first few days, everything felt easy. He brought coffee from home. He cooked simple meals. He avoided unnecessary shopping. But one afternoon, something small happened. It was a stressful day at work. Many emails, many deadlines, too many small problems. When the work finally ended, he felt tired. On the way home, he passed a cafe. The smell of coffee filled the air. His mind said something simple. "You worked hard today. It's just one coffee. So he went inside. The coffee tasted good. The moment felt relaxing. The next day, the same thing happened again. Not because he planned it, but because the brain remembered the small reward. Soon the coffee became a daily habit. Another person had a different story. She liked online shopping, not expensive things, just small items, a new notebook, a phone accessory, a pair of socks. Each item looked harmless. When she opened the shopping app, the screen showed something interesting. Special discount. Only today. Limited stock. These words created urgency. Her mind began thinking quickly. If I don't buy it now, I might lose the deal. So she bought it. The excitement lasted a few minutes, maybe a few hours. But when the package arrived days later, the feeling was already gone. The item joined many other things in her room. Useful, perhaps, but not necessary. There was also a university student who struggled with late-night spending. He often studied late. Around midnight, he became hungry. Cooking felt slow. Going outside felt inconvenient. So he opened a delivery app. The pictures of food looked bright and delicious. With a few taps, dinner was on the way. At that moment, the decision felt practical. But when the month ended, the delivery fees were surprising. What looked like small meals had quietly become a large expense. These stories are very common. Different people, different situations. But the same pattern appears again and again. Spending is often emotional. We buy when we are tired. We buy when we are bored. We buy when we feel stressed. We buy when we want a small reward. The purchase becomes a quick solution, not to a financial need, but to a feeling. This is why controlling spending is not only about money. It is also about understanding our emotions. Another powerful force behind spending is comparison. Today, people see the lives of others every day. Through social media, photos of vacations, new clothes, new gadgets, beautiful restaurants. Even when we know these images show only the best moments, the mind still compares. And comparison quietly creates pressure. If they have it, maybe I should have it too. This thought appears silently. And soon another purchase follows. The modern world is very good at encouraging spending. Advertisements are carefully designed. Stores are beautifully organized. Online platforms make buying extremely easy. Everything is built to reduce hesitation. But saving money requires the opposite. It requires a moment of pause. A small question. Do I really need this? Many people discover something surprising when they begin asking this question. Very often, the answer is no. Not because the item is bad, but because the desire was temporary. Most impulses disappear if we wait long enough. This small pause is powerful because it breaks the automatic cycle of spending. And once the cycle slows down, a new habit can begin. A habit of thoughtful spending, a habit of choosing carefully, a habit that slowly builds financial freedom. Understanding these patterns is an important step, because when we see how spending really works, we can begin making better decisions. And that is where the next part of the story begins. But there is another pattern many people slowly discover. Small spending often feels invisible. One coffee in the morning, a snack during the afternoon, a quick online purchase at night. Each decision feels small. Each moment feels harmless. But money does not disappear all at once. It disappears little by little. A coffee today, another tomorrow, another next week. At the end of the month, the total begins to grow. What once felt like small comfort becomes a noticeable expense. Many people are surprised when they finally calculate these small habits, because the numbers tell a different story. Small spending repeated many times becomes something much larger. Another modern habit quietly affecting spending is subscriptions. Today, many services use monthly payments. Music platforms, streaming services, online memberships, mobile apps. Each one feels inexpensive, just a few dollars each month. The cost seems small enough to ignore, but when several subscriptions exist at the same time, the total slowly increases. Month after month, the payments continue automatically. And because the money leaves quietly, many people forget about it. This is how small payments can quietly become a large yearly expense. Another powerful influence on spending is the idea of a discount. When people see a lower price, something interesting happens in the mind. The brain begins focusing on the deal. This is cheaper. This is a good opportunity. This might not appear again. But sometimes a discount does not actually save money. Sometimes it simply encourages spending. A product that was never needed suddenly feels attractive because the price looks smaller. In reality, the best discount is often not buying the item at all. There is also a chemical reaction happening inside the brain during shopping. When people buy something new, the brain releases a small reward signal. A brief feeling of excitement appears. The purchase feels satisfying. For a moment, the day feels brighter. But this feeling fades quickly. Soon, the object becomes normal, and the mind begins searching for the next small reward. This cycle is very common. Excitement, purchase, temporary satisfaction, return to normal. Then the cycle begins again. Many people believe they are buying objects, but often they are buying emotions. A moment of comfort, a moment of excitement, a moment of escape from stress. Understanding this changes the way we see spending, because the purchase is rarely only about the object itself. It is often about how we feel in that moment. Another interesting pattern appears when people compare themselves to others. Through social media, people constantly see new lifestyles, beautiful homes, new technology, fashion, travel. These images create quiet pressure. Even when we know these pictures show only the best moments, the mind still compares. And comparison creates desire. If they have this, maybe I should have it too. This thought appears silently, and sometimes it leads directly to spending. But there is one more quiet truth about money. Every purchase has two directions. One direction leads to the present moment. The other direction leads to the future. The money spent today could have supported the future version of ourselves. Savings, freedom, opportunities. Every decision quietly shapes tomorrow. This does not mean spending is wrong. Enjoying life is important. Buying things we truly value can be meaningful. But the key difference is awareness. Knowing when we are spending with intention and when we are simply reacting to impulse. This small awareness changes everything. Because when we begin noticing our patterns, we gain the ability to change them. And that is where the real transformation begins. After understanding these patterns, an important question appears. How can we stop unnecessary spending? The answer is not simply earning more money. It begins with awareness. Many people change their spending habits the moment they begin noticing their choices. Before buying something, they pause. Just for a moment. A simple question appears. Do I really need this? This small pause is powerful, because most spending happens automatically. The mind sees something attractive. The hand moves quickly. The purchase is completed. But when we pause, the automatic pattern breaks. Sometimes the answer becomes clear. I don't actually need this. Another helpful habit is time. Instead of buying immediately, wait. Wait a few hours. Sometimes wait a full day. Many impulses disappear with time. What once felt urgent often becomes unimportant. This simple delay protects many people from unnecessary purchases. Another useful habit is writing things down. Some people keep a small spending notebook. Every purchase is recorded. Coffee, snacks, online shopping. At first, this feels unnecessary. But something interesting happens when spending becomes visible. Patterns begin to appear. The mind starts noticing habits that once felt invisible. And once habits become visible, they become easier to change. Planning spending can also help. Instead of reacting to purchases, people decide in advance how their money will be used. Needs first, savings second, enjoyment third. This does not mean life must become strict or joyless. It simply means money begins to follow intention instead of impulse. And when money follows intention, something powerful happens. Peace appears. Because financial stress often comes from uncertainty. Not knowing where money goes. Not knowing if enough will remain. But clear spending habits slowly replace confusion with clarity. Another helpful idea is learning the difference between value and impulse. Value lasts longer. Impulse fades quickly. A meaningful experience. A useful tool. A thoughtful purchase. These bring long-term satisfaction. But impulse spending often brings only a short moment of excitement. Understanding this difference changes the way people approach money. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" they begin asking, "Is this truly valuable to me?" This question transforms spending. Because money is not only about numbers. It is about choices. Choices about time. Choices about priorities. Choices about the future. Every small decision shapes the life we are slowly building. And sometimes the most powerful financial habit is not spending more carefully. It is learning to appreciate what we already have. Contentment is a quiet form of wealth. When people learn to feel satisfied with enough, the pressure to constantly buy begins to fade. Money stops disappearing through small impulses, and slowly stability grows. Not through dramatic changes, but through many small, thoughtful decisions. And that is how financial freedom often begins. Not with a sudden fortune, but with awareness, with patience, with careful choices repeated day after day. Thank you for listening today. I hope this story helps you see spending in a new way, because sometimes the smallest habits create the biggest changes in our lives. See you in the next story.